What's up, friends? Welcome to SPDM TV. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I watch a lot of TV. We talk about various TV topics, reviews, and general appreciation of TV, past and new. You could follow me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Serialized at MLHilty2452 to see what all I'm watching. This week, we dropped the episode, I think last week, yeah, or the week before, talking about our top 10 shows of the year. And I wanted to showcase my 11 through 25 because I think these are all shows that I think are worth checking out. So I wanted to count down some of those just to give some of those shows a little bit of love and recognition. So starting at my number 11, I've got The Sandman at number 11. I really liked The Sandman. It fixed a lot of the problems that I saw in season one. Mainly, it split up the season between two different stories, and I think this season kind of tightened it up a little bit and they focused on one particular story, which I thought was really good. Some of the newer characters I thought they introduced were pretty spectacular, and I really liked the ending. I think the ending was really great. I would have loved to have seen what Netflix would have done with this show had it gotten renewed for more seasons, but Neil Gaiman is kind of toxic right now, so I see why they just punted on the show, but whatever, it's all good. My number 12 is Severance. I really liked this season of Severance. I didn't quite like it as much as season one, mainly because I think that there are more questions that got asked, and there were plenty of questions that didn't get answered this season that just kind of frustrated me a little bit. I shouldn't take that out too much on the show, but I did enjoy this season. There's a couple things like the scene with all the goats. Like, I still don't understand what's the deal with that. So we'll just wait to see what happens. I just pray to God that we're not going to get such a long gap in between. And I am also a little concerned about what it's going to be like when Ben Stiller is not in the director's chair. My number 13 is Department Q on Netflix. This has been a pretty great year for British television on Netflix. So I really did enjoy that. So Matthew Good is just great in it. He's such a jerk. The mystery was really intriguing as well, even though I didn't really think the payoff of it was very good. But at the end of the day, I did enjoy the mystery a lot. I enjoyed the dynamics amongst the entire team as well. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen from there. My number 14 is Paradise. I thought Paradise was a great show. I think the guys, because they're from the same guys that did This Is Us, so I don't know why I didn't see the twist that happens at the end of the first episode coming, but I quite enjoyed that a lot. I thought Scott Marsden is actually really, or James Marsden, Scott Summers was his character in X-Men, but James Marsden as the president was actually really great. So, and Sterling K. Brown just keeps doing Sterling K. Brown stuff. So, yeah, definitely like that a lot. Very intrigued about what season two is going to bring about. My number 15 show is The Last of Us season two. And I liked episodes of this, but I thought that the back half kind of dragged on a little bit. So I'm very curious to see how next season is going to be received without the creator of the game, but also when the focus shifts on other people. So I'm very curious to see how that pans out. My number 16 is Daredevil Born Again. I can't believe Daredevil Born Again predicted just everything that's happening in the United States right now. That it's just terrifying, but hey, it is what it is. Whatever. We'll see how that pans out. But Daredevil Born Again, I thought was a little bit uneven. I think there were some really good episodes, but there were some very curious choices regarding Muse. I think that's kind of the one that kind of scratches my head a little bit. The last two episodes were pretty great. So, if that is the tone that they're going to continue to strike throughout the course of the series next time it comes out, then sure, I'm there. My number 17 is Apple Cider Vinegar. And no, Netflix does a really great job of these true crime, miniseries where they take a particular person and they kind of showcase a little bit of what happened to them, how did they become the person that they are, but then shines a giant microscope on them to kind of just like, why did you do this? I thought it was a nice touch to kind of have three concurrent stories going on at the same time because you've got Caitlin Deaver, who is just this shuckster, this snake oil salesman. And then you've got the other girl who she's just trying to, these methods did work for her for a little while, but until they didn't. And then one person who's just following them and just eating all this up. So interesting story. I quite enjoyed it. My number 18 is Invincible season 3. I liked a lot of what happened in Invincible season 3. I'm very curious to see what happens in season 4. So yeah, Invincible season 3, it was pretty great. My number 19 is Mo. And Mo season 2, this is the I think this is the only time that we are going to get I think this is going to be the last of the series, which sucks because I think this series had a lot of potential. But I think the last episode where Mo goes back to Palestine, a lot of really moving stuff there. So I really enjoyed that. My number 20 is Dying for Sex. Michelle Williams just can get it for this episode. She does such a great job. But the two other standouts in particular from this show, Rob Delaney as the neighbor guy who is just hilarious and very sweet. But also, I think the big thing, Jenny Slate is just outstanding in this as well. So, Dying for Sex, definitely really great. My number 21 is Win or Lose. I still think Pixar made a horrendous decision by not including the trans storyline in this. I thought it would have been a really powerful message, but what do I know? Because I'm just somebody that talks about TV. I can't really make a TV show per se. So, however, the rest of the series is also really great as well. My number 22 is Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple. John Hamm just continues to get it, and I really enjoyed what he brought to the table with this. I thought Amanda Peet was great in this. Even Olivia Munn was pretty good as well. I thought the story was interesting, talking about what it's like to kind of be on the outside looking in of this upper class suburban community, but then once you kind of get into this life where you could steal all of this stuff and take ownership for yourself, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop for John Hamm and see how that pans out. My number 23 is We Were Liars on Amazon. And We Were Liars, I thought that this was going to be a stupid teen love story, which it kind of is, but there's also a little bit of a mystery element where the main character, you're not exactly sure what's going on with her. So it's actually surprisingly good. So it has a lot to say, kind of similar to Your Friends and Neighbors, about class, about what it means to have privilege. So I really like that. My number 24 is Running Point. I really liked Running Point. I thought Kate Hudson was great. It is pretty much the story of the Los Angeles Lakers, so take that for what you will. But I thought Running Point was very enjoyable, very funny. This is a sitcom through and through, which if I said this in the episode proper, but if the Blockbuster show had been more like this, I think it would have been better received, and I think it would have been a better show. And finally, my number 25 is Stick on Apple TV Plus. Owen Wilson is great in this show, and I really enjoyed the journey that everybody goes on in this, and the little community that's built between Price and the kid, and his mom, and just everybody in here. Just the five of them together just warmed my heart. So I really like that. But those are just a couple other shows to definitely recommend for this year. I'm still working on compiling this, 25 best 25 of the 21st century. So just bear with me on that. But I wanted to talk about these because I just wanted to make sure that these shows got a little bit of love. But that's going to do it for this episode of SPDM TV. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website.com. Shout out to iFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. Check out the other shows in our network. We've got a lot of great content, so please check out the other shows on the network. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.